Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. This Miss Patty is cracking up trying to drink her coffee back. I can explain. It's just a busy morning.
Did we start an hour early today?
I think we may have started an hour early. It feels like it.
It does.
Okay, it's not just me then. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. How are you, Miss Patty?
I'm doing fine. I'm glad it's Wednesday.
Yes, for sure.
The weekend is over. Thank goodness. Oh, let us see your Texas Fully Loaded shirt.
Oh, well, this is the one that. Oh wait, this is the one that I made a long time ago.
You know, they reminded me of
what?
When our kids were little and they learned to dress themselves. And actually, my son had Winnie the Pooh shirts instead of like Izod and those things. He had Winnie the Pooh. So he came in one morning and I said, Todd, I think there's something wrong with your shirt. And he said, what? And I said, well, look at it. I think it's on backwards. He said, no, Winnie the Pooh is right. He turned his shirt around because it was on backwards.
Well, I'm wearing this shirt specifically today, Miss Patty. I'm going to see if you guys can see the back. On the back, it says real women on it, or real woman on it. And I don't know if you've heard or not, and we're going to be talking about this quite a bit some today, is that, oh, you couldn't see it anyway. It was too low. Anyway, it does say it on my shirt. I'm not crazy.
We'll take your word for
it. So anyway, so they just crowned a man as Miss Netherlands. And so he is now going forward. I spoke too soon at the end of June when I said we can kind of taper off some of these stupid trans conversations. Apparently, I was very, very mistaken. So we're going to have some guests on later in the show to kind of talk a little bit more about that. But just know we've got a theme. We got a theme for the day.
Please tell me Walter's not going to come and drag.
I can't say anything other than we've got some guests that are going to be coming on today.
I'm going to drink my coffee fast because I don't want to spit it all over the computer.
Yes, Simon, the best woman in the Netherlands is apparently a man. And look, hold on. I got to see. Hold on. Y'all need to see this freak show.
I've already seen it.
Hold on. Why is this? I want a better picture. Like there's got to be a better picture of it somewhere. Because I was trying to find one, but this is the best I could do.
I don't even think these pictures that I saw, you can't even say it's the better makeup because the runner-up was really a very beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm. So the lady in yellow is the runner-up. And this is the man, as you can tell from the very man-like face structure and chin, the ginormous hands, and the complete lack of boobs all the way down his man chest. Very freaky. Yeah. This is a face you should have nightmares over, not be celebrating as a fake woman.
Well, I wonder. I think it'd be interesting if we infiltrated some of this stuff and said, looked at the application. Are they forbidden to ask whether they're male or female?
Well, Ms. Patty, it doesn't matter. They're identifying. So who cares about biology?
Well, I think I do.
You're so old school, Miss Patty. You're supposed to just...
I am old school. We're made different for a very important reason.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. This is... Uh-oh. Simon said, yes, this is how I wanted to spend my Wednesday morning, throwing up. Everyone will have a nice full cleansing by the time the show is over. Don't you worry about it. Warren, you're right. She did have the testosterone. That's a killer fortitude.
Was that? Okay. Okay. So you and I got here on time. Where the
This
heck
is fair,
Ashley?
Simon. I don't know. She said she was going to be here today. Simon may have had the best answer on how we can figure out who's really a woman. Ladies, where do you want to eat?
That's over my head, I guess.
So I don't think that I do it, but the saying is, you know, where do you want to eat? And I don't care. And then they start, okay, maybe I've done this once or twice. Where do you want to eat? And then the woman can't answer or what to eat. I'm fine, whatever you want to eat. And then you get there and then they're super picky.
Simon, right, picky.
We both passed.
Good. You know, it's actually a compliment when it says, I've never looked at you and thought you were a man. That would be a real compliment these days.
I think that you're correct. I mean, I don't know. Seeing this weirdo's hands, like I don't know. That's something I always look at is a person's hands. And so those hands freak me out. They're like alien hands.
Yeah.
I mean, they are freakishly large.
Do you remember? And of course, interestingly enough, this was a Bud Light commercial, I think, many years ago, where the guys went. It involved a bar and men, and the men start buying drinks for a so-called woman, and then that woman turns around and it's not a woman. It's got a beard. Can you imagine
Yes,
that poor man when he realized that he didn't order something.
I'm pulling up that commercial. That I remember that commercial. It was hysterical. Hold on. I think this is the full length one. Yes. Here we go. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot to share it. This is our Miss Patty. Yesterday was our 1 year anniversary on TECN.TV. And I made the joke that maybe my my computer skills got better, and they did not, apparently. Okay, nor did my speaking. I didn't get any better either.
Spit it out. Yep. Now, I knew right there.
Bud Light, please. Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh no, it's Ted from accounting.
Oh, wait, there was more. All right, we'll save that one for later because we're definitely going to want to see that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that's definitely happening later. Okay. All right. We'll pause it there. So, I think I made the comment last week, I think it was, that, well, of course it was Bud Light. Bud Light used to have the greatest commercials. And I think they were part of what kind of led and propelled the Super Bowl commercial buying trend and like hype, because it was always the best commercials. They were funny. They hit you in the feels. Like you fill in the blank and it was there. Now, and like they've now released a new commercial to kind of symbolize that they are not fazed by what's going on around them and they're going to weather the storm, if you will. Have you seen that commercial?
I guess not.
Bless you, Dennis.
Never said bless you, Dennis. He said thanks. He's in another room. You don't know how loud that was.
Look, there's always a real question of if men are taught to sneeze like that, or if it's something like, does it happen over age? I don't really have a real answer for that question, but men who sneeze ridiculously loud, it's a thing. It is a real thing, and it usually scares the crap out of whatever woman they're with.
Believe me.
Yeah.
No matter how long you've been married. Maybe that's what you should ask a man to do when you meet him. Say, sneeze, please, so I can see if you're a woman.
Yeah. That should be like on, what is it, Tinder and all of those dating app sites, a sneeze questionnaire, sneeze, farting, burping questionnaire. Gonna get all that right out of the way.
Now there's really strange noise coming from the other room. I'm not sure what he's doing.
They had the dilly. I forgot about dilly dilly. Okay.
Okay. But you remember the first, I think, but the first commercials I really remember being funny were the frog commercials.
Oh yes, the Budweiser. Yeah,
And that was the reason why I watched Super Bowl, is because I wanted to see the Budweiser frog commercials, and they were always really, really funny and good. And you wanted to see them and you wanted to watch them again because they were hilarious. And then I guess they moved into the Clydesdale horses, which weren't funny, but they tugged on your heart because they had babies and cute animals, and then they had the beautiful horses.
Yes.
And now, we got a perversion. I got a new slogan for them.
Just be able to bring people together, and now they have gone so far the other direction. Okay, so this is their comeback commercial. Are you ready? A little difficult, but you know. Here again. You may have messed up. The time is right for making friends. Let's get together about 9:45. Come tomorrow. Let's all do it again. Good time. These are fun, good time. Leave your cares behind. These are fun, good time. Now they are being absolutely murdered on social media for this. So the people who have the regular people like us, if you will, they have come back. They're shooting back, and they're like, "Oh, I see. So you really don't care. You're unfazed by what is happening around you. You don't care about your consumer base. You don't care about how this looks. You're just going to keep doing your thing," because that's the undertone of the video, right? And so they're not responding to that controversy at all. And it's just it's a pretty arrogant move. Like I said it the other day, and I wish men would kind of figure this out. And it's clear that the CEO of Anheuser-Busch is a man. If you would just say, "I'm sorry, let's fix this," that would solve so many problems. Just hold a hand and say, "I'm sorry, I messed up." But they refuse to do it. They're just going to be arrogant.
Well, I would bet money that they hired a rebranding firm that would come in and give them consultations on how we win back and cover up this. Whoever that one is needs to be let go, because that was every bit as bad as the other stuff.
Look here, Budweiser. I've never really truly drank your beers, but you can hire Hearts and Mind Strategies for consulting and PR firm. That's my big secret that I've been working on. So you can hire us, and I will fix your problems. Because right now you are just screwing the pooch. It's awful. No, actually, Warren, he did not come out as straight. So, okay, here's how this plays out. And it's funny if you haven't seen this. Simon said, "What? Oh, come on, Sandra. Men are men. Now I'm sorry, but I never apologize." Definitely a man statement. Thank you, Simon. Okay, so here's the other side of poor Dylan. Everyone, feel sorry for Dylan. Poor Dylan. He's not getting any. Hold on. He's not getting any love. He's getting no love.
That's because he's looking for love in all the wrong places.
That's fair, Miss Patty. Where did it go? I just had that stupid video of him. So now he's changed his hair color. He's blonde. He's been afraid to leave his house. And this is really emotional for him. Hold on a second. He wishes that Budweiser would have just never done anything at all if they're not going to stand beside the trans community.
I wonder how much Budweiser paid him
Oh,
for
they
them
had
to
to pay him a
use.
freaking fortune.
Well, I feel real bad for him. He asked for it.
Exactly. He asked for it.
You get what you want sometimes. That's why I always say be careful what you ask for.
That's very fair. Where is that stupid commercial? You have to see it. It's ridiculous. Like, he literally starts blubbering and carrying on. Now, he did in a video around the same time frame. He did a video being funny and cute and cheeky about a conversation that he and his dad had, because he told his dad that he had a crush on on a girl. And then his dad was like, so does that mean that you're straight now? And she's like, no, I'm still beautiful. Still a beautiful woman. But I have a crush on a girl. I guess that kind of makes me a lesbian. And he's like, no, it doesn't. You still have a penis, don't you? And he goes, I mean, for now, but you never know. Never say never. And I was just like,
He's a member of the I don't know generation.
Simon said, is this because it came out as a gay woman? Perhaps.
But did he?
I don't.
And
But
that's
here's the joke. Here's the joke for years and years and years that I've always heard from guys. Oh yeah, I'm a lesbian. Like, big, huge, burly men always make that joke.
Mm-hmm.
Har har, right? Because they like women. I don't get it. It's
Because
weird.
they were hoping it would allow them to go into the ladies' changing room. Could there be an alternative motive there? I don't know. Think about it.
I believe that Caitlyn Jenner, who we call Bruce Jenner, because that was his name, or is his name. He is dating, or at least was dating, a woman. I don't know if that woman was in drag or not as a man, but he was with a woman because he's still attracted to women. These are strange times. These are strange times, Patty, and I don't know what to do with my hands.
You can't fix stupid.
You cannot fix stupid.
No matter how much duct tape you wear. Is that? I seem to smell bacon in the other room.
There might be something. There might be something cooking. There might be something cooking. Yeah. So, but we as conservatives, we will continue on this show to poke fun at this topic, because you have to, because the audacity of these people to think that we are violating them in some sort of ridiculous manner is absolutely absurd, when they are violating everyone's matter. So look, what you wanted to do in the privacy, this is not about gays and lesbians. This is about the drag community, the transgender nonsense. And it was different when it was just adults. Like, this is a full-fledged conversation where they're trying to take over and perverse our children with this. And everybody's weighing in on it. And the problem is that we don't ever when we try to use good, like, things that are justifiable to us, right? Like using scripture to be like, hey, or hey, you know what? It's really not PC, or things like this. Sexual appropriations. That's what I'm screaming, Simon. When we start trying to, the biggest problem that we have is we don't know how to argue back with these people. We use the moral high ground because we do have it, but they don't understand that. So you can't. It's just like trying to use scripture that you would use with a fellow Christian on people who don't believe the word at all. It has no value. It has no authority in their life. So we can sit here and say, hey, the Bible says X, Y, and Z. And they're like, yeah, well, then we have these little weirdo groups like that one out in California, the nuns that of ill reproach or whatever the heck they call themselves, where they dress up like nuns and drag and goth. And, it just, I'm certain that most of our elected officials on any given level could absolutely fill that committee without a problem, which is part of the problem. That's why most of them are completely silent on this, or they're erring on the side of caution. So they're just playing it safe. They're appeasing both sides. They're doing a little give and take. And so when you're dealing with a completely immoral people, you can't talk to them on the same level that you could a brother or sister in Christ, or the same level that you could when they don't recognize or value that. You can't use that as your argument. So you have to get on their level and say, look, here's where you're messing up. This isn't appropriate. I don't want to say you have to be vulgar back at them, but you can't take a knife to a gunfight and expect to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to make sure that you're resourcing properly. And if you're a good debater, you listen to what they're saying, and then you use their word. That's who they're called. Thank you, Simon. You use their words against them. You use their words to make them understand. And whenever I was doing debates, whether it was with Republicans or when I got to debate Jessica Cisneros, for example, that's how you win the room. That's how you win the argument, is you use their own words against them. This is why women win the arguments. That's why women win arguments, because we listen.
And in most cases, before we even start the argument, we've won it.
That is also an absolute fact, Miss Patty. So we listen, we remember, and then I'm giving too many secrets away, but somebody's got to help. I'm trying to help men here. I'm trying to help men. And that's the funnier part. When you have men who are dressing up like women, they're still not listening. They have not suddenly become great listeners. They just look ridiculous.
I guess I just had this thought. What if you went into, let's just put ourselves in this imaginary zone. We go into let's say we go into a restaurant, and we've gone into the restroom, and we're at the mirror washing our hands, and a lot of women like touch up their makeup, and next to you is a gay guy, a drag person in drag, wearing the same outfit as you. Okay. And that's when you say, oh, I wear that so much better than you.
Yes.
I mean, they're doing it they're doing it for attention.
Right.
There are some things we're not going to figure out how to reach, because these people they want attention. They all want to be a RuPaul.
Yep.
And most of them, it's weird when you see them on TV, like at parades, and you see these cross dressers. Most of them are so outlandish that if it were a woman dressed like that, you would be disturbed, much less a man dressed like a woman like that.
Oh, you know what you just reminded me of, Miss Patty? There was a woman here in Texas who was testifying, and she's a biological woman. She has all of the credentials that you would let her walk into just about any Sunday school class and teach any elementary school, because of her degrees, because of her educational pedigree, and her resume. And she was completely head to toe. Let me see if I can bio drag. The things you have to learn to word is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find this. It was. I don't even have words half the time. have to find it because I mean this one was like in hot pink. She kind of looked like did you ever see the Hunger Games?
Yes, one of them. Yeah.
And there was what was her name? She was the one who said, "May the odds ever be in your favor," and she was all. That's what she looked like. And in the Hunger Games, like you couldn't tell. Like if I tell people, Effie, yes, I was right. Okay, I tell people all the time, like if you actually watched the Hunger Games or read the books, and you look around you, we are like less than 10 years from being in the Hunger Games. I mean, every single bit of it is spot on.
Let's see. I wonder how long I'm going to live. I hope I don't go there. Oh no. I think I may have to take a break before he comes out.
Yes. So let me see if I can find that commercial. Is that the commercial? Let me see if I can find that video. Let's go ahead and take our commercial break. Simon, we're going to take the commercial break a couple minutes early. Is that okay?
Is this the Women on Wednesday commercial break or is this the
yeah. Oh, dang it. Let me play that one twice. That way I have time to find, because I forgot to play that one because I was trying to fix my. All right, let me play we're going to do the Women on Wednesday commercial twice so that we have a second. Okay. More than a second. And we'll be right back. Wouldn't stop. We are back with a huge thank you to our amazing sponsors, the Montgomery County Tea Party. Don't forget the first and the third Monday of every month, which is this coming Monday, the 17th. Be at Citizens Grill in Conroe, Texas. The meeting starts at 6. The meeting starts at 6:30, and make sure you get there early though, so that you can hug some necks and order something yummy to eat. Also, a huge thank you to our Vietnam veterans of America. Their service and sacrifice went far beyond a distant shore, and they continue to serve their community, their fellow veterans, and their families. So make sure you check them out. Vietnam Veterans of America welcome home, guys. Also, if you're sick and tired of the big box shopping, even online, check out Mammoth Nation. Go to mammothnation.com/#WeThePeopleWork. Sign up through that #WeThePeopleWork link because it gets you a discount. So it's only $25 instead of the regular $30 or $29. Hey, a couple bucks is a couple bucks, right? So use that link, and then you're supporting Texas Fully Loaded so we can continue to be on the air, bringing you all of the information that you need to battle this crazy world that we live in. And you can find all of this on the Texas Fully Loaded's brand new, redesigned by yours truly, freaking website. So go to texasfullyloaded.com and you can find everything that your little heart desires and more, like our Texas Fully Loaded shop with all of our stuff. So you get coffee mugs. Look at those. Aren't they absolutely precious? Our new t-shirts. And hey, have you checked out the t-shirts yet? They come in many sizes, many colors. Look at that. Tell everybody where you get your news and entertainment. One-stop shopping right here on Texas Fully Loaded. So go to texasfullyloaded.com. You can find out all of the links of everything that we talk about is going to be right there. The Montgomery County Tea Party's website is on there. We're there. Our J6 stuff is there. So check out our website. There's going to be new things popping up as it happens. Also, there's this really awesome book on there. It's called Supermoms Activated. There's a chapter in there about yours truly. So the link to that book is on there as well. So check that out. It's about 12 amazing women who said, you know what, whether it was the COVID restrictions, whether it was like for me, the border, whether it was just politics in general, who got out of their comfort zone and said, hey, we got to stand up and fight for our babies. And that's exactly what this book is about. So make sure you check that book out. Get it. You do have to go to Amazon, but you might be able to find it other places. But I put the Amazon link because I didn't see it on Mammoth Nation yet. Okay. You know what? I need a new cape because mine is an old one from Six Flags, but it is a Superwoman cape. So it does make it a little bit better. Miss Patty.
I have a suggestion. As I look at all the shirts, which they're really, really cool, they all have men's necklines. I really prefer the scoop neckline or the one like you have on that. I can't do this.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'll talk.
Tell Dad.
Yeah.
Tell Dad. There are some of us real women out there that like to look like real women.
Here. Are
Get
you
my
listening,
drift.
old man? I'll call Dad after the show. That's a good one. That is good. I agree. I like the scoop neck a little bit better.
I mean, I get too claustrophobic with things up here.
Walter likes a really high neckline, and he'll wear regular t-shirts backwards. It's funny.
Is that because he likes the high neckline, or is it because he can't tell which is the front and which is the back?
That's a fair question. But no, he really does. He would bring back turtlenecks if he could.
Oh. Okay.
I look good in a turtleneck.
Some people are good at them. I don't. Oh gosh, is there someone on the left and someone on the right that we're going to make me? I'm putting my coffee away.
You will definitely at 11. I'll give you some warning. It'll be around 11. 11 is the.
I'm only going to use my
11:15 is the bewitching hour.
I'm only going to use my sippy cup because you can't really spill as much liquid that way.
Simon said I just threw up in my mouth. Turtlenecks. Hey, I've worn turtlenecks on the show. I have a good neck for it. I have a longer neck, so it works.
I have a short neck.
Yeah. It doesn't work for people with short necks. I get it. Not everybody can do it.
No. The thought of looking like a turtle is just not in my.
So when my there's little, she was at the house and she was like something. We were talking about something. I don't even remember what it was. Whatever it was not significant. But all of a sudden, she was just like, "Well, I feel like an awkward turtle now."
Where is Ashley? We need Ashley to come save us.
I don't know. That was scary. I texted her and I asked her where she was. She didn't respond.
I mean, if we have to get up and get dressed and do our hair,
she's an hour ahead of us, so she should be on the
some
ball.
of us do our makeup on the show. Others,
Hey,
Don't.
Sometimes
Uh,
happens.
There's no excuse why she can't be here. Let's
There
go to
was
her.
there was complete chaos this morning. Total chaos.
It's always
It's almost
total
like we're getting ready for a show around here.
It's not like it was a surprise that this was Wednesday morning when she got up, or maybe it was.
Maybe it was.
Could be.
The only person that would work on is Mitch McConnell. Hold on, Suzanne's on here. Hold on. Turtlenecks are good in parts of Texas. It's hard to peel off when you get rid of a layer.
Suzanne got up earlier than we did.
She did.
She
always does.
Because, well, she's already cooked a meal by now. I say, cook your own meal.
Miss Patty don't take no smack back. She's like, you hungry? There's the kitchen.
Because you don't.
She does say that. She literally says.
It's like when Sandra and the littles were here one time. They got up and they wanted breakfast, and I said, "Oh crap, I forgot you kids eat."
Kids eat. What? No one told Miss Patty kids eat. I'm kidding.
We're gonna have to be a little creative this morning about what you have for breakfast, because
they have no problems being creative in the kitchen. It's the mess that is afterwards that's not always the greatest. It's not always
by the time breakfast is over, by the time breakfast gets here, Arthur has already surveyed the pantry. He knows what's in there because he checks behind every door.
He does. He is very nosy. Alex and Austin, they're still not nosy. Alex and Austin will just they'll sit down and they don't care. I did not have to work hard to hide Christmas presents or birthday presents with Alex and Austin. With Arthur and Charlotte, I have to I got to work for it with those two. I actually have to put stuff in the attic. I never had to hide presents with Alex and Austin. It's crazy. Yeah. Speaking of cooking, did you see Burger King's new Thailand cheeseburger? No. Why do I have a feeling that there's a joke that's going to?
Why do I have a feeling that we're not going to like it? Go ahead.
It's a good thing that Walter's not on the show right now because he would be gagging. He hates Burger King. Somebody mentioned it earlier, and he literally started gagging.
But why? They have one of the best burgers.
It's all cheese and no meat.
I don't eat cheese. Oh, that's the rest of Simon's joke. It's not about.
I think in fairness, it's really a hot dog.
Isn't it Thailand where they believe that the cows are their reincarnated family members?
Mm-hmm. So no, that's India.
Oh, India. Okay.
Cows are very sacred in India.
My bad.
All right, Simon, I'm going to look it up. Burger.
Uh-oh. Gosh, I hope there's not a picture. Did you have your oat milk this morning?
I did have some oat milk this morning. It's delicious.
Is this your new? Is it this your new creative way to spend money?
No, this. Don't listen to Walter. No, it's too much. Is now offering in Thailand has no meat and 20 slices of cheese. Is this for the person who never wants to poop again?
Hey, let's remember, this is the person who doesn't like cheese.
I'm not a big cheese person either.
Well, so if you put cheese on
anything, there's no meat involved.
Gross.
Just 20 slices of cheese and the bun, of course. I suspect that technically makes it a cheese sandwich, but details. Demand for the so-called real cheeseburger is apparently off the charts, mainly thanks to viral videos of people eating them on social media. Now, I did some analysis, 381 calories for a Burger King cheeseburger, and I believe each one of those little cheese slices is 113 calories, so I make that 2,260 calories for the cheese alone. Good luck with that.
No kidding.
Okay. Do they have an overabundance of cheese they need to get rid of or something?
Well, it's not even real cheese. It's that fake cheese. And when I go to restaurants, like if I do go to a fast food restaurant and I ask for a burger, so a lot of the fast food restaurants now they don't just have the regular processed like cheap cheese. And I know that sounds really snobby, but I don't get snobby about a lot of things, but food and I had to stop myself for a second. Food is something that I get snobby about. And so I will say, do you have, and then I'll list a specific cheese like pepper jack, or do you have Swiss with the holes? Because if not, then you get because if not, like you get like the
I only want
cheese.
Swiss. I only want Swiss, but I want the holes because I don't like cheese. Just give me that empty spot.
When I was little, okay, this is funny. When I was little, I used to order, like, Swiss was my favorite cheese because there was less of it because of the holes. I'm not a big cheese person.
Yeah.
It is holy cheese. Thank you. Yes, Jameson. It is in fact holy cheese.
When
Swiss should be held to a higher level.
Every child seems to love grilled cheese sandwiches and macaroni and cheese. When I fix macaroni and cheese for my kids, I got the longest wooden spoon I had so that I could stand far, far away as I stirred it. And then I quickly put the lid on it because I couldn't stand the smell of it. Okay, speaking of cheese.
Speaking of big cheese. No, Charlotte is not a big cheese person either. And she gets very upset when I like grilled cheese sandwiches, but they have to, I'm snobby about them. So they have to be properly, like proper cheeses are involved, not American. I hate American cheese. That is the nastiest cheese on this planet is American cheese. But I love Munster and I like provolone and Swiss and things like that. So it has to pepper jack. So it has to be a properly done like grilled cheese sandwich. And then it has to be, I can't eat it by itself. It has to be with tomato and basil soup. Very snobby with food. I know.
Cheese. Okay, you're going to have a grilled cheese sandwich at my house. You're going to have a piece of toast because I'm not making that.
There's no cheese. Well, so anyway, so Charlotte gets really upset when we make grilled cheese sandwiches because she goes, why would you make a sandwich that I don't even like cheese? So she's very offended. But she loves macaroni and cheese. But she doesn't like, again, it's organic, so it's different. I hear it. I know yeah. And she won't even eat all of it, but she does, yeah. Remember during COVID when the government was hoarding and shipping baby supplies and other stuff while Americans did without? Well, now where the cheese went.
Good point, Warren. I remember the day.
Suzanne, I can't eat Velveeta. The only time I can eat Velveeta is if it's in like a queso dip, and even then, like I can taste of it. Yeah, the government cheese of it.
Okay, now that you've actually ruined my meals for the day because I don't think I could eat now.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Wait for another 30 minutes.
So is this like diet Wednesday?
Huh?
Is this going to be like Diet Wednesday because we're not going to want to? We're going to want to go back into bed and pull the covers over our head and hide from the world.
That sounds good, Warren. Especially like with a nice red wine. He says when you pass through Centerville, check out Woody's Smoked Gouda.
Yep. Ooh. No, thank you. You can have my share. Anybody can have my share. Is it time?
I'm like our future guests are messaging me and letting me know, they're very needy, but it'll be worth it. It'll be fabulous.
Don't tell me Ashley's going to be in a hot dog costume.
Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. Now we have here's the serious part of the show for a minute. Carmen Montiel is joining us on location. Hey, Carmen, how are you?
Hey, Sandra, how are you doing? Hello.
I'm doing fantastic.
Hi,
This is
Carmen.
Miss Patty Tibbs. Have y'all met before?
Yes, we have. Several
Hi,
times.
Patty, how are you?
I'm doing great. You?
With you all.
You need to come back to Montgomery County Tea Party.
I'm sorry.
I said, you need to come back and visit us at Montgomery County Tea Party.
Oh, yes, I need to stop by. I've been busy, getting back to work and reconnecting with my business. So that's have kept me busy. But
Yes.
send me the info and I'll be back.
Super. Well, for those of you who do not know our dear friend Carmen also ran for Congress a couple of times, but way before then, she was a beauty queen. You were actually in Miss Universe, were you not?
Yes, I went to Miss Universe in 1984. That was 39 years ago, July 11th.
So Carmen is the real McCoy. There's no man hands involved in her Miss Universe pageants. There was none of that. It was actual women competing against actual women. Is that correct?
Totally correct. Because back then, and I'm going to tell you a fact story. One of the conditions to compete in Miss Universe and any other beauty competition, they were like, you have to be certain age, between 18 years old to 25, I believe at the time. Now they have expanded that, and a couple of things, but very important one, you have to be a female. Okay, and I remember that clearly because that year, 1984, transgender, there was no such thing as transgender. There is no such thing as transgender. That's an invention. There was a man that looked like a woman that presented himself in the Miss Brazil pageant. And the day of the night of the Miss Brazil, I was watching with the president of Miss Venezuela because, a beauty competition is like any sport competition. You check who your opponents are going to be. So we were watching the pageant to see who was going to be my opponent from Brazil. And in the midst of the pageant, they introduced this, what we thought it was a beautiful woman. And they said, do you think anything wrong? She tried to compete. This is 1984. And he said, do you see any reason why this person could not compete? And at the end, they said, the important thing have to be a female. Is not a female. And this was in Brazil, 1984. So this has been in the making for many years. But here we are. And we need to understand that this is an attack on women. Women have fought hard to take our position in life, that a beauty pageant as a sport event, it's a way for women to get scholarships, to advance in life. For me, it was a platform that gave me incredible opportunities. I went to work in television as a journalist. That helped me. But you know why they're attacking women? Have you ever questioned why this attack on women? The attack on women is who will be the last person standing protecting our children? We women.
Yeah.
Only a woman will. And they already took this mask off and they say they're coming for our children.
No, that is an absolute most accurate statement, Carmen. And because nobody fights for a woman for a child like their mother does. That's why there's mama bears. Even in nature, you see where the mother is. I mean, they're the most fierce competitor when it comes to protecting their children. And I think that this slippery slope that started kind of off as almost a joke is now becoming a reality when it should have never been. And I think that this is yet still another way for these men, and I'm using quotations because no man would ever subject a woman like this and disrespect her, put her down, and all of the things that we're seeing happening. I think that the biggest issue, if you will, is that these men are trying to annihilate women yet again. Like, we had to fight so hard to even have a seat at the table, at any table. And now, they're here. No, we got to get rid of that. They're messing things up because we have.
And then it's a machist way. Is they want our positions. They do not want us to exist.
Right.
However, they don't understand that without us, they cannot exist. Because this whole thing about, we can win women, you know what? They don't have a uterus. They don't have 2 ovaries. They don't have what I put yesterday in Instagram. The greatest gift a woman has is to give life. And God gave us that privilege. And it doesn't matter whatever they do, they will never be that. I just read that a transgender wants to have, listen to this, wants to have a uterus transplant. Now, that doesn't secure him that he's going to get pregnant. You know why? Because he wants to have an abortion. It's like, you know, where are the psycho words? They have disappeared. This is the reality. These people have mental issues, and that's where they should be.
Exactly. And you know, it's interesting when you see these women things that have decided that, you know what, not only are we're a woman now, we still should be armed. These are my favorite ones because they go against everything that they go against everything, but they're vulnerable as a woman. And so they have to be protected with a firearm. And so they get these guns, but they're lying on their 4473s. When they fill out the paperwork to get the gun, it asks if you have any kind of mental illnesses. It asks if you are taking any prescription drugs. It asks that might have a psychological effect on you. It asks if you've been seen in therapy for a long time. And my understanding is that they have to go through therapy with a psychologist as they're transgendering because of the effects that it has on their psyche. Before they can even to do it properly, they have to have so many hours with a psychologist to make sure that they can mentally sustain transgendering with all of the different drugs and everything, that they're going to have the support and the mental capacity to do it.
And even then, the rate of suicide among this group after they transition is the highest. So that doesn't even solve the problem they think they have to solve by going through this transition.
Yep. It's Miss Patty. What are your thoughts, Miss Patty, on hearing all of this stuff? I mean, this is certainly not a conversation 30 years ago you were expected to have on a show.
I don't think growing up, I don't think I ever saw anyone cross-dressing. I don't think I saw, I mean, yes, we had gay people who were what they now call gay, but in my day, they stayed in the closet. In fact, most of the time you didn't even know, there was no outward reason to know they were gay. Even their best friends didn't know they were gay. And maybe that's where it should have stayed. I mean, there was a gay area in Houston. It's still around. I don't know if it's still a gay area or not. But that's where they went to party and get along. But it just wasn't out there. And I'm sure there were a lot of people. I mean, there were people that didn't date. And when everybody else was getting married, they didn't get married. And you didn't even think about them being gay. But
right.
Cross-dressing. And, of course, abortion was one of those things then that you had to leave the state to go get. Because, I mean, I do know of one or two girls. I went to a big high school. There were one or two girls that were reportedly with child and then went somewhere and weren't with child anymore. So they went somewhere to have one. But it wasn't like it is now. It's like today we have this movement on super steroids to see how well they can outdo Sodom and Gomorrah, because we're in Sodom and Gomorrah now. But this is like on super steroids, because you would never think of doing the things to your body that they do to their body. I mean, why would you do that? I mean, to me, we have a lot of mental health problems, and we need to look at why we have them. We have them because over the years, we have stopped, it's we families, churches have stopped raising our children with a moral code. Yes. And we've stopped guiding them the way they should go. And we've allowed them to become common watchers of things that in my days we would never have watched because it just was okay. Wait a second.
Ken said, y'all just jealous that a man finally getting good at something.
Finally.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right. We're just jealous because I mean, when this is winning competitions, this is the one that won. This is the runner-up.
And that's the first runner-up. Can you please tell me how, it's the beauty of a woman, they can try and do surgeries, but their physiognomy as a man still shows up. And the beauty of a woman is that special thing that we only have, that sensibility that make us have that beauty that is so different from a man. And I'm a woman, I have no problem with men, which is the problem. Now, they don't want men to be men. They don't want women to be women. And that way there is a whole confusion. And men were always there to protect us. And it's, you have to analyze. Nature is so fantastic. And God made us. When they made us with such a vision. He said, men are givers. Women are receivers. And it's just the explanation in our organs. Our organs are internal ones, and the male organs are external ones. And you just have to analyze everything. The skeleton, structure of a man and a woman is so different because our skeleton is made to be able to bear a child and for a child to get out. Listen, this man said this one that want to have a uterus transplant, he will never, because his bone structure is not made to deliver a baby. It's a closed enclosure, and they're just playing with God. They're just going against God. I just heard in the news that in Australia, a set of parents performed surgery, had a surgery performed on their 5-year-old to change the sex. Now, this is abuse, and the problem is with the parents. That should be, those parents should be in prison because that's mutilation. That's a crime. I don't know how you can go and cut anything from a person, and that's a crime. Yet the parents or the doctors can do it.
I remember when Alex was a baby, and there was another family that had the mom went and got the daughter's ears pierced. Little infant baby got their ears pierced without telling dad. And the fight that ensued from it wasn't that he was upset that it happened. It was upset that it happened and he didn't know about it. And she went behind his back and this, that, and the third. Charlotte has not gotten, and this is something simple, right? Just getting your ear pierced. You can just take it right out and it heals back up and nobody knows any wiser, right? So I'm with you. I can't imagine making a decision like that without something so permanent. The earrings or something, the earring hole, the piercings, that's something that can go away. But to physically alter the child in such a way, it's awful.
Mutilation.
It's mutilation.
It's mutilation because let me tell you, I remember how in Africa there are areas in also the Muslim countries, they mutilate the sex, and we're going to talk, the clitoris on women. And this has been always in the news, how this is mutilation, how this is not right, how can do this to women. Oh, but now it's okay. They're mutilating boys and girls, taking the breasts away and cutting the penises of the boys. And I'm like, what's wrong here? It is like Patty said, we're living Sodoma and Gomorrah. And we need to tell, I sat down my children in many occasions for many important topics, the three of them, like the bird and the bees, and told them how you should prevent it. And told them, if you ever get pregnant, I'm not going to be mad because you got pregnant. I'm going to be mad because you're an idiot, because you knew how to prevent it. And then with the pandemic, I sat them down again because transgender thing just got worse with the pandemic. And I sat down and I said, well, I pay, you're a girl, and you're a boy. And I don't want to hear about it. If after you are able to support yourself and you decide, that's your problem. But in the meantime, this is how it is in this house. And parents need to be parents and need to set the rules of the house. And because we're here to guide our children. And let me tell you, you know, kids play all day. And one day my son was Superman, and the next day he was a parrot. And my girl one day was Cinderella, and the next day she was Belle. Are you going to believe that that's who really they are? And going through something as drastic as having a surgery on them? Imagine a parrot, you're going to take the eye out?
Yeah. Yep. And, you know, I used to use the analogy with Charlotte that she would always pretend she was a cat. And she'd, you know, crawl around on the floor and she'd meow and we would ask her questions and she'd go and try and steal the cat food and like all of this stuff. And then I'd be like, okay, now it's done, or, you know, enough, like, I'm trying to find out whatever it was, right? And so you allow them to play and pretend because that's a normal part of growing up, but you don't feed that part of growing up, right? You allow them to have fun and be silly because that's fun and silly, and then you move on. But now I can't use that analogy anymore because these freakazoids are actually putting litter boxes in schools so that children can use them when they're identifying as a cat that day. Can you imagine?
I have read all kind of crazy things, and what happened is,
yes,
the adults
I'm scheduling your cat surgery this week. Actually, funny enough.
You know, imagine. let's do surgery on your face so you look like a cat.
Yes.
You know, like, seriously, people, this madness has to stop. And I hold accountable the parents and the doctors that are doing this. And like Patty said, listen, and I come from, you know, at some point I went to a beauty pageant and like I put a post and of course here there is many people supporting, and there is some people that's, how dare you say that when the gays made you? The gays didn't make me. My parents made me. Okay, come on. They say because you got to be who you were because of the gays. No, it was my hard work, or first of all, my physiognomy, that thanks to my parents, and then my hard work, my discipline, and my commitment when I got to that pageant. That my best friend who is gay did my makeup, you know, Julio Cesar, and I adore him. We're good friends, because that's the other thing. I have many gay friends. And I adore them. And many of them are against this. Many of them. The president of the Venezuela pageant was always against of same-sex marriage or then adopting children, you know. And many of them say that they've been used to advance this agenda and actually is having a negative result on them. Because I don't care who you are, but be whatever you want in your house. But do not impose it on me. I respect you, and you have to respect me.
Yep.
And definitely don't impose it on your children.
Yeah. I wanted to touch, you talked a couple minutes ago about the differences essentially between a man and a woman. But you made a specific reference to the softness of a woman. And that's something that a man can never adapt. They just can't. They can try and act all lovey-dovey and they can, you know, do whatever they want. But there's just this something about a woman, that motherly thing about a woman, I guess, that shows comfort and compassion and all of the things that a man, as much as he can try, and men are compassionate. I'm not saying that at all. And men can comfort and you know, there's a whole role for that. But there's just something about a soothing comfort of a mother and of a woman. It just is, right? That's why women can make the strongest men turn into the biggest babies, right? That's like our kryptonite. That's our superhero power. And when we were part of the Matt Walsh event there in Houston at the University of Houston, there was a young lady who has transgendered into a man, and she had a beard, and she looked, you could tell that she was trying to look like a man. And she's taking the drugs and everything. And she said, look, I'm against them pushing this on children. I had gender dysphoria, but I didn't make any of these types of decisions until I was in my 20s. And as she's talking to me, I could see that woman still in there. I could see it in her eyes. There was no mistaking about it. And it's not something that you could capture on a camera. It wasn't something that you could put your finger on unless you just know that womanly, I'm terrified, but I'm trying anyway. You know what I mean? Like, that's just something that women can just identify in another woman. And as much as she was trying to put on this big, rugged man exterior, she wasn't much bigger than me. She wasn't any bigger than I am. She still had a very feminine build, even though you could tell she was trying to cover that up with her baggy clothes and her beard and her short hair and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you could still see that there was a woman in there that was just trapped and terrified and doesn't know what to do now. But hey, I'm a man now, and I'm trying to talk with a deeper voice. And she was very, I loved talking to her, but and she was being honest. She said, I don't think that most people in the transgender community or even in the LGBTQ community realize the attack on the children. And that's why I'm here, because I want people to know that we are not okay with this. Let grown-ups make grown-up decisions, but don't force it on children. And I think that's part of the thing. People are not grasping that. But with this Miss Universe stuff, this is a full-blown attack. This is women attacking women. This is what this is.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, how demoralizing would it be to be that runner-up, that it was such a visually beautiful woman, and to be beat by a pretend woman?
An ugly pretend woman at that.
But to me, it's like that's like the ultimate slap in the face, because here
well,
she
like
was
in the sports, same things
the
with
sports thing, the same thing. You can't a woman just can't compete in men's sports. Now there are women's sports that a man could never do as well. Women's gymnastics probably for one of them. I don't care how much hormones they take; they're just not built to do the same and look the same. But how humiliating would it be for them to allow a man, and because they are what they are, or say they are, there will be judges who will score them so higher because they'll just treat them differently. Like, oh, they're so brave to be doing this. Well, bullcrap. They're not brave for doing that. It is an out attack on the female population. If they wanted to be, if they thought that women were so great, that's why they wanted to be one, they wouldn't want to bring them down. When back many years ago when I worked for Gulf Oil, one of my best friends there was a gay guy, and he was really, really a nice man, and he held women up to a higher stand than men. He appreciated him. He would open doors for him. He would be more manly in those regards about respecting what a woman is and was than a lot of the men were. And this is total opposite of that. By the way that they're doing this is to bring women down. Bring them down a notch. And Carmen, I think you're 100% right. That's the way we get to our kids, is you destroy the woman.
Because woman, we just talk about the tenderness of women.
Yeah.
And that's unique to us. And that doesn't mean men have feelings. And I have seen men crying and love on their children, but they don't have our tenderness. Mm-hmm. But don't you mess with our children, and you will see that lion inside of us. We can go from tender to be a lion to defend our children. And only women can do that. Men can be furious, but they can never be tender. But we can do both.
Well, they've been trying for years to make men less masculine, and that wasn't working as much. So if you destroy women, then you really ultimately the family will be destroyed, because it takes a man and a woman to take care of children. That's the way it's done best. Yes, it can be done without one or the other, but it's extremely hard to do, because it's meant to be a man and a woman raising children. So it is for the destruction of the family, and we know it's coming. It's very, very sad.
Now let's
It is.
get back to the history, how this happened in Miss Universe. And it's thanks to one of the biggest feminists in United States. Back in 2012, there was a Canadian Miss Canada that was a transgender, and he wanted to go to Miss Universe. And at that time, Donald Trump was the owner of the pageant. And because the rules were you have to be a female, well, here came Gloria Allred. And she was one who called the Canadian candidate, said, I represent you, let's sue Miss Universe. And she sued, and she's a feminist, okay? She sued Miss Universe, and of course, California, they ruled that, yeah, transgenders could compete. And that was the first time that a transgender went to Miss Universe pageant. I think it was, I call it because it's not she, in the semifinalists, but that's as far as he got. After that, in 2018, Spain crowned a transgender as Miss Spain, Angela. I know her first name was Angela, and she went to Miss Universe, and she didn't qualify, but they gave her a special position in the pageant, like recognizing how brave she was to be in the Miss Universe pageant. And now we have this. Now, mind you, that in Miss Universe, we roommate, there's 2 girls per room. I just wonder, the poor girl that have to roommate with this. I don't want a man that have no idea rooming with me. What is this all about? How about the protection? How many, it had happened in jails. The transgender wanted to go to the female jail, and then it's raping all the women becoming pregnant. This is just crazy and out of proportion. And I'm just waiting for a miracle. Something has to come from God so we get back to basis here.
Right. No, you're absolutely correct. And, I think that this is just part of the having, and I talk about this all the time, but having the big ones, my 18-year-old and my 15-year-old, as opposed to having my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old, it is such a different world that you're having to learn to navigate. And I'm thankful that I have 2 strong boys, now young men, who are rooted in faith. They're rooted in, sensible politics and things along those lines. Like they have a good baseline, and they have taken the shelter role for our little ones when Manny and I can't be in the room. Hey, the littles can't watch this anymore. Hey, don't let them watch the new Blue's Clues because it's doing too much of this. Or, hey, we saw them watching this on YouTube. And it's not just that they're telling us, they're stopping it. And they'll tell them, this is not something that is going to be, you're not going to like this. This is not going to make you feel okay. Like they're really, they're brothers, so they're jerks, but they, in their brotherly jerk way, they make sure that the littles are being protected. Of course, the littles go, they were being mean. And, it's all drama and stuff as it should be. But at the end of the day, I am so blessed and honored to have such amazing older sons who are protecting the well-being of their little brother and their baby sister. And it's not, it's such a different world, but it goes back to, like you were saying, Carmen, making sure that you're the parent in the home. You're the one who is setting down what the rules are. You're putting the boundaries on, and you're making sure, yes, kids are going to be kids. They're going to get under your skin. They're going to disobey you, but there are hard lines that don't get crossed. Right. Yeah. This isn't someone broke a plate or someone stole a cookie.
Let me tell you, and this is when parents, like, your kids are doing a great job. And parents, I always tell parents, you need to be involved and sit down and watch television with your children. Now they're watching the tablet. But I'm going to tell you something. My daughters, they're 27 and 24 right now. When they were teenagers, around 13, 10, 11, I used to have the Disney Channel back then. Look how long this has been going on. We're talking about over 10 years ago. Okay, I used to sit down with them to watch television. They were watching the Disney Channel. At that time, in the show they were watching, there were two girls making out. That day, I canceled Disney Channel. I said, you know what? It's not possible that Disney is pushing this because the children are watching that. I think it's normal. And I canceled. So my son, who is 18, he grew up without Disney. My girls, remember they had Disney and they knew why we didn't have Disney. So my son was always, why we don't have Disney? And I was, because I don't like their policies. And I never, I disconnected. I remember my son asking a friend of mine, can you give me access to your Disney? You are not going to give him access to Disney, to your Disney account. No, we have to put our foot down. We are the parents. We have to be the people that guide them through life.
You know, unfortunately, we should have been doing this all along because I can remember when my kids were little, and my kids are a lot older than yours, Carmen, but I remember seeing things because we didn't sit and watch their cartoons and their kids' shows with them. We were busy doing something for the other child or whatever we were doing, but we should have been, because there were innuendos there that we just should have put a halt to it then. And they were much more subtle than what they are now. But now, you know, I sit and I'm watching all kinds of shows that you thought were safe. And I'm watching them with my grandchild now, and I'm going, oh no, you don't go there. We're not going to watch it, because they're basically, they may not be showing it, but they're saying it, and they're getting it in there. They're getting the thought in there. I think it's really, really dangerous. The other day we were watching she was watching a how-to video for a game that she plays. And I heard first of all, I thought it was kind of strange that it was a grown man that was given these instructions. I don't know who Sandra's talking to. She's talking to herself, I guess. Anyway, it was a grown man talking, giving instructions on the ins and outs of this pretty simple and okay game. And then I heard him use some mild curse words. And I said, well, back up, no. And I explained to her, there are bound to be other people who don't use that kind of language, because you don't really need to hear that. I mean, that is subtle, and you think it's small and not all that bad, but it all builds up when they become so commonplace that they use cuss words in everyday language. Garbage in, garbage out. Eventually they're going to say it and do it. So you need to nip it in the small areas so that they recognize it when they see it. Because, you know, I went to Twitter the other day and I was retweeting something, and I actually scrolled down a bit and I saw some things that should not have been on there. I mean, full frontal nudity of a man on Twitter. Why? And the tweet to it was even worse. And it's like, what has our society gotten to that they think people want to see that kind of stuff? And it should be places where you accidentally go. So children, phones, iPads, whatever, we need to know. It's kind of like, I remember when my kids first started driving, and I said, as soon as they drive out that driveway, you actually have no idea where they're going.
No, we don't. And nowadays with the phones, because I see my children, they're watching their shows on the phones and everything. But as parents, we have the control, because who's paying the phone? We are. And then we can put blocks, and we can put things that will prevent them. But like you said, what happened is in Twitter, is in Facebook, is everywhere. Listen to the music now there. It's everything is vulgar. Where is romanticism? Songs used to be romantic, and the Beatles used to sing and say that all you need is love. And we have gone for all you need is love to pretty much describe the genitalia on people. And it's and if the songs are not saying things like that, oh well, they're not good songs. The kids
Yeah.
don't like it.
Well, but we need to, that's when we need to be their parent. And we need to say, and the story you get is, but we hear worse than that at school. That doesn't make any difference. You allowing them to do it is condoning it. And if you condone it, they're going to continue to do it and do more of it. We have got to take control. And if it means taking away privileges to do different things and watching them closer, we're talking about the rest of their life here.
Yeah.
I mean, society's only going downhill. And unless we do something to stop the road to go downhill, it's going to be something we can't stop.
Now we have, I have Mike Billand is waiting in the back room here to come on to the show. We
He's
also have
waiting in the
some special-
bathroom.
in the back room, like on the thing. Okay. Now I also have we have some special guests that are going to be joining us as well in just a minute. Carmen, can you stick around for that, or do you have to run?
No,
okay,
no,
so
no,
we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
And then we'll see what happens next. So I'll probably do the commercial twice. And that's.
Take a drink now so you won't spit it out later.
Take a drink. If you need to grab a drink, grab a drink. Call your friends. You're not going to want to miss out on this. We'll be right back.
Okay.
We are back with a huge thank you to our amazing sponsors, and I hope that we don't lose them after this next segment. The Montgomery County Tea Party. Don't forget the first to the third Monday of every month, be at Citizens Grill in Conroe, Texas. The meeting starts at 6:30, so get there early so you can get something yummy to eat, hug some necks, and talk to some folks. You're not going to want to miss out. It's going to be absolutely fabulous, so make sure that you're there this Monday. So I'll see you guys there. Also, the Vietnam Veterans of America, their service and sacrifice went far beyond a distant shore. They still continue to serve and love on their fellow veterans from today all the way back to Vietnam and prior. But they also take care of their communities and the families within. So make sure that you go past a Vietnam Veterans of America, or when you see one, tell them welcome home. It really means a lot to them. Also, a huge thank you. I mean, if you're just kidding. Take two. If you're sick and tired of the big box, go to mammothnation.com/# we the people work. Make sure that you sign up under there because you get a discount and you're supporting Texas Fully Loaded. You also don't have to worry about things coming from China or Taiwan or anywhere else because it's right here from America. They're American and veteran-owned businesses. So make sure that you check out mammothnation.com/# we the people. You also get discounts on all the products that you use anyway, and you're supporting Americans. So heck yeah, let's make it happen. And have you forgotten? I hope not. Go to texasfullyloaded.com. Always click on that hashtag we the people work so you can support our show directly. But you can also now start doing our TFL shop. Make sure you click on the sponsors and friends, and you can find out everything that you need to know about our amazing sponsors, our friends of the network, who we're supporting, our J6ers, however you can plug in. Make sure that you do it. You're not going to want to, you will not regret it. Ragreets? No ragreets. I'm done talking today. I got too much on my mind. There's definitely a lot. Miss Patty is here. Rachel is now with us. Carmen is here. Mike is here. Are y'all, first of all, welcome to Mike and Rachel. How are you guys?
Howdy.
Hello.
Living the dream in a meta nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere in what continent?
A subcontinent, actually, India. I'm on the Pakistan border in Ahmedabad.
So are you handling some of the customer support that I call?
No. No.
Okay. Just want to clarify.
Now, Mike, you told me to share a video of yours. One of your snaps. Was it the cow one?
No, it was the snap I sent you when I was leaving the office earlier.
Oh Lord, I don't think I saw that one. Hold on a second.
I sent it to your email. It's just
you did send it to my email. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, hold on.
I'm not seeing it.
Hold on, I don't know. The technology has not gotten any better on this show. We've just been on the air for a year. That's the only thing that's changed.
We may need to hire
People want
someone.
from me. We should hire someone. We need more donations. Indians asking me, Mike, why you work so hard doing 15 hours a day? Me back to them, is your country flag on the moon? Didn't think so.
I like it. Good one.
Straight thug, Mike. Rachel, no, I don't want to cut you off because I'm excited that you're here. But we do have this is a Texas Fully Loaded first. I'm guaranteed it's a TECN.TV first. We are honored to have the Trans Fat Nationals finalists.
I'm getting my camera.
They are part of the pulled pork competition. I'm excited to introduce Barbecue Liquor and Sergeant Cayenne Pepper. Welcome to the show.
Oh, I love it. That is right up my alley.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, wait, make it bigger.
I'm glad only my top half is showing.
I like Mike. Ooh, look at Mike, baby. Mike Bill.
Oh, no.
I think I know those two.
There's a lot of finger licking going on there.
Girl, you know what trans fat be standing for, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
PHAT. Pretty hot and tempting because you know it.
Oh, my.
Wow, this is we were talking, guys. I don't even know what to do with myself. I'm at a loss for words. I truly am. We were talking about drag queens being in beauty queen competitions, and so to have you guys on here, can you tell us a little bit about the Trans Fat Nationals and more specifically the pulled pork competition?
Well, you see what it is we are a group of El Natural trans fat people. And while we have identified as trans fat, and we're from East Texas. So my brother here is we also identify as a very religious oriented trans fat people. Yeah. And with trans fats, we're actually against trans fats. So
we pull pork.
We pull pork.
We pull pork.
Jack Daniels was full of pride. And so we have a Jack Daniels pulled pork section. Oh my word.
Jack Daniels is a hard liquor.
Baby. And here in East Texas, it is all natural. There is no hormones because we got the hormones, baby.
Snaps.
Do you make the hormones yourself?
Someone pick Sandra up off the floor.
What? What's that?
We are
yourself.
trying to expose America into a new form of items that can help take down the trans fats, such as when you're making your latte, we use silk, baby. Coconut silk.
Well, you should definitely be healthy, regardless of what you identify as. So now, are y'all? Do you self-identify as women? Do you recognize that you're drag queens, and so you're having to costume up, or how does that?
Today,
Because today is
it's changing all the time.
changing.
It's changing. I'm all about change.
Like my little black book and my Rolodex be changing. Sometimes I flip that pages. You remember Ronald up there in Austin, Texas? Oh, he was working for the governor. Yeah.
That
Oh,
boy
is that
made my
Dave?
thighs burn.
Mike wanted to know if that was Dade.
You what?
Excuse me?
Is that Dade feeling? Is he feeling that?
No, he feeling okay. He feeling good.
He feeling firm. That little surfer boy knows how to get up on the board and ride it.
Let me tell you,
He's foaming in the ocean down there.
that ain't his first rodeo. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, he's so petite.
Yeah, little boy. It's just so cute.
Okay, which one of you is Cheyenne Pepper?
What? What she said?
Who's barbecue liquor?
That'd be me.
Is it any
Who's
question?
who on this? Who is Barbecue Liquor and who is Sergeant Cayenne Pepper? Not like I
That's
can't guess.
Sergeant Cayenne Pepper there.
Come on now, Cheyenne.
Can't you tell?
It's
Sergeant
baby.
Cheyenne.
Diane.
I like it.
Restored
It's
from
Cheyenne.
Wyoming to the Gulf of Mexico.
Jack Barkoff said Sergeant Pepper and the Clogged Hearts Band.
My audio.
No, I don't want to be the one to steal all of this limelight from our panel here. Guys, or ladies and Guy, do y'all have any questions for our very special guests?
I think that Mike guy, he just came back from Afghanistan.
Oh, that's a nice upside down
He keeps
pineapple.
distra- he
that you
keeps
have. That's
distracting
very
me.
weird.
I have a question.
Oh, we got a question.
What is your best tip for me as a woman, how I can be a better woman, how I can woman better?
Oh, girl.
2 inches.
Mm-hmm.
You said just a tip, right?
What?
Oh! Sorry about that.
Stop. Stop it.
Oh, God.
I don't know if Miss Pat is really
I'm sorry.
having computer
I'm
issues.
sorry.
That was
Sometimes I'm feeling pageant mode. Oh.
Pageant mode. I have a question. Since you say pageant mode, I have a question.
Say
Okay.
again.
I went to Miss Universe 1984. I was second runner-up. Now tell me, what was I missing that I didn't win? I just got to be second.
Wait a minute. Is that the Miss Carmen
I
Montiel?
think it is.
Girl, I have your... Oh.
In the house.
Oh! Woo! Look at him.
I just got
But
excited.
tell me,
Well, maybe she was, maybe, I don't know.
You know what? I think if you would have had, well, in our terms of our trans fat pageants, you know, we go into,
we pull a lot of pork.
we pull a lot of pork, but if you package it bigger, it's just more appealing to people. And sometimes you got to go with lumps. Lumps.
Sometimes they want a little extra.
A little extra, girl.
Yeah.
Now we've been asked. Simon Garcia, he's from here in Texas. He asks, "How do you keep those fine figures?" That's
Oh, you
very-
kidding me?
Do you have a big workout regimen? Like, how does that work out?
Goodness.
There is no controlling all of this right here. Baby.
Richard Simmons sweating to the oldies, girl.
Oh yes. Mhm. So, what exactly do y'all's competitions include? How do they judge the pork pulling? Is it finger licking, or is there
It's who finishes first.
This is my
Usually.
first day.
who
This is my
flinches first?
day.
I just
Finishes first.
I
Oh,
just started
finishes first.
identifying today.
I recruit McCate from all across the Texas lands because Texas is the key to the nation. Hang on a second, yeah. Sometimes my hair just goes hither to my lips. But
It
it's
gets
just,
stuck in your lip gloss.
well, my lip gloss is what you put on chicken wings, girl. But, spicy. You just want to nibble them up. Now, wait a second. Now, is Miss Carmen out? Yes, there she is. Now, you could probably help us out here in the Jasper area, to be honest with you, because lips. That's our problem with all these manses that is transes. They just ain't got the lips. And girl, you fill them out. And did you know she's got? Can you tell us about your products, because they are not sophisticated like that over here in Jasperine.
No, they ain't. They got Revlon.
Well, if you want to have beautiful hair like mine, you have to use CM. You know, shampoo, conditioner, staying conditioner.
So I've been going wrong with bar soap.
Well, I myself, I'm waiting for the transplant. I got plugs coming in, but listen, we have been doing a lot of things with our different trans fat organization, to include, we are actually all natural, organic gardeners.
Now those look pretty big. How do y'all handle those?
A lot of girth.
Are those trans pickles?
Sometimes we pickle our cumbers, and sometimes we just take the cumber from down under. We have eggplant, and we have bell peppers, because they ring my bell.
I don't think I've seen someone handle a cucumber like that since Jason Vaughn.
Oh, you know what? He has tried. They won't let him in. We can't figure out why.
Where do we find that Mikey boy? Where do we find him?
He's scrumptious. And you have got to be the biggest Indian I've ever seen from over there. Is it feather or a dot, baby?
It's a dot. But funny story. They tried to take me to like an amusement park or some shit, because there's nothing to do here, and they weighed me, and they're like, "Yeah, you can't come in."
What?
We're
Like,
gonna break.
They're like, "It is not safe." I'm like, "Well, I figured it wasn't safe to begin with, but shit." All right.
You know, Mike, I feel bad for you, baby. But if you want to come over to I'll let you pull my pork any day.
He looks like a pro.
Now, ladies, gentlemen, I'm not really sure. What are y'all's pronouns exactly?
Lady, man.
She and them.
She and them.
Just go to chadprather.com and buy the shirt, girl. We ain't
She
gonna
and
put it out
them.
there.
She, them.
Not only do we do chadprather.com, but we also do Duke Cannon. A big lump of coal helps you with a squatch. Once you see the D, you'll smell like me.
So I do have some real news to share with you guys. Now, we were talking about this a little earlier in the show, and I couldn't find the clip. Thankfully, I think we found it. Now, this is a drag queen named Bridget Bandit, and they testified before the Texas House during all of this transgender stuff. So I want you guys, I want y'all's opinion on this. Well, it's a short video. Here we go.
Drag is simply a form of art. And like any form of art, it can be produced by many different kinds of people and be modified for different kinds of audiences. Good afternoon to the chair and committee. My name is Bridget Bandit, and I'm speaking in opposition to SB 12 and SB 1601, which might be obvious. These laws would impact my ability to work with children simply because of how I am presenting and not actually what I am presenting. Discriminate against people based on sex and not the actual content of performances. The only reason this bill would affect me is that most people assume I am male under this costume, and I receive the same kind of treatment as any other drag queen. However, the bill would not directly affect me with the way it currently defines drag, as I am someone who is born female and does drag as a feminine person. Why should I be able to continue the same kinds of events with similar content and costumes, but not my male counterparts? This bill should be more concerned about the content of the performances rather than the sex or gender of the performers. None of us want to have children at our drag shows at the gay bar at 11 p.m. on a Friday night, and there are already laws preventing that from happening, but we do want to continue our events like drag story times that are intentionally modified to be appropriate for children. Drag is simply a form of art. And like any form of art, it can be produced by many different kinds of people and be modified for different kinds of audiences.
I just want to jump in first here. The thing I want to say about this, the beautiful thing about the free market is that so many Americans are refusing to participate or indulge themselves in these woke productions. It does not appeal to them anymore. This art that was not born of our people has been imposed on us by a subversive press. And in parallel, a great assault has begun, a great assault on the education of our children, tearing out the great memories of our glorious American past, a great insult to the many men and women of our people to remove their memory from the hearts and minds of the young. Now that comes from a famous Austrian painter, but it rings true today still.
No, absolutely. So this, I've watched that whole testimony of that drag queen, Bridget Bandit or whatever the crap her name was, because she really is a woman, and she actually has degrees to work with children. She's she's a teacher. She's worked in churches as in part of ministry and things like that. She poses an interesting concept because it's outside of the norm, but she also makes a statement. We don't want children at the bar at 11 p.m. at night. They don't belong there. I agree. They do not belong there. That's a conversation that I think all of us have had at one point or another. Children don't belong in bars, whether there's a man, woman, clown, band. It doesn't matter on the stage. Children don't belong. I agree.
And Texas has such a weird rule where you got to be like within arm's length of an adult. And I've actually been in a personal situation like that. I was on a date once. And this chick's buddy was a cop, and he had brought his son with him, and like we were all drinking, and this is like during COVID, and we're getting hammered and stuff, and I figured out the kid is 15 years old, and his dad's a cop, and brought him in there. And so I was talking to the chick that I was on a date with. I'm like, well, what the hell's going on with this? She's like, well, it's legal, so I think there's a larger issue we kind of need to address there. I mean, there's one thing for beer. I'm German. My family came here after the war, right? We took an L, came here, built rockets, did good shit. But we have our first beers around 8 years old, but it's really light beer and stuff like that. But like allowing a child into a bar is just insanity. It doesn't support any kind of cultural narrative whatsoever other than degeneracy. And that's the problem that we have in this country is we have this ruling elite that is of usually the same group of people, and they're trying to push this division upon us. They're trying to push this degeneracy upon us because they know when they do this, they weaken us. We are a Christian nation. They say, oh, the founding fathers fled persecution. They fled the Church of England. That's what they fled. We are Christians. We're a Christian-built Christian nation, expansion of the West. Wesleyan Methodism, all that kind of stuff is inherently American, and to deny that is to deny American history, and we need to re-recognize that in this country and bring it back. I had my first beer at 4 because I'm German. Ich bin Deutsche, aber gut.
Well, this Bridget Bandit she's totally stealing from the men in the trans movement, because that's actually where the whole drag queen thing started with back in the 1970s. Mm-hmm. This was all about the men that was the queens.
The menses.
That's right. It made it more prevalent for us to be able to circulate your men into our world. Mm-hmm. This woman right here testified, I don't care how educated she is. She is stealing from us. Mm-hmm. This is our movement. Mm-hmm. It is all about us. Listen, and I agree with her. I believe the children are our future. Mm-hmm. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Amen. Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Amen.
Because the greatest
love of all
But
It's
let me tell
happening.
you,
Right here. Amen.
let me tell you, the problem we have now in America, in the world, because this is happening worldwide. You know, in Venezuela, I just received videos of the same, because remember, this agenda is being advanced by the United Nations. Remember, a little while ago, the United Nations said that pedophilia should be allowed. But whatever happened with we adults that have to protect the innocence of children? That was the premise when we were little. Children need to, and their innocence needed to be protected. There were things that children were not supposed to see, know, hear, or watch. Where is, as a journalist, I tell you, where is the FCC? The FCC is supposed to regulate the programming that goes on every TV station, radio station, and even the lyrics of the music that we're listening today. So we have concluded, we have come to a point that all of these three letters organizations, they're either not doing their job, or they are complying with this crazy agenda that is against humanity.
My people have a saying, Es ist Zeit für Reich. It's time for revenge.
What's he saying? So, you know, the FCC won't let me be. They tried to shut me down on MTV.
Yes, they
No,
did.
that's Tipper Gore. She won't let you be.
Sergeant Cheyenne, show George your pulled pork.
Well, where is Tipper Gore? Remember Tipper Gore back in the 90s used to fight for the lyrics on the songs. And what happened is now the Democrats are all on board with this craziness.
Chicken.
It's probably because she divorced Al Gore. He left her hanging.
Sorry.
Yeah, like a Chad.
Yes.
Gore,
It was hung like a Chad.
Ooh. Hung like a Chad girl.
I used to have a T-shirt when I was voting Democrat in Florida, and it said, "Who's your chatty?"
Who's Chad? I said one that said, "I got a dimple in my chat."
Now,
there's a felon in Thielen.
But you've
Now, I think-
never seen him shirtless on a longboard in the Gulf of Mexico.
No, you hang, girl.
there's so much to take in on this show right now. Thankfully, our journalist, our
Rachel.
secretary for the show is.
Rachel's been there. She has been with me on Crystal Beach.
What?
If you put lotion on Dave Phelan while he's surfing, he sparkles like a crystal on that beach.
Now, gentlemen, I'm sorry, girls. What? Girls, please, can you please define women?
It's a feeling. It's a feeling.
It's a feeling.
It's
High crash rates.
If you don't already know, they know how
and
to
you know
talk.
what? You know what? Women are the true definition of where we're gonna eat. I don't know. What time we're gonna eat? I don't know. They can't even make up their damn minds. Hey, when you ask a man, what time we gonna eat? What we gonna eat? Where we gonna eat?
Pulled pork right now.
Right now, baby. I got chicken wings and things.
No question about it.
So
See,
I'm
we
assuming
still are
you
the
don't know what it
definition that
is.
we're going to feed you guys.
Simon's making a request that Barbie and Cheyenne host Women on Wednesday next week.
We could do that.
Oh, we be there.
But you know what? So we are practicing right now. We are going to be a part of the merengue competition. And we ain't talking about pies, baby. Can you imagine all of this doing a salsa and merengue?
In meringue.
To East Texas fiddle music. There is no cultural appropriation because ain't nobody ever tried that before.
Don't we the first.
Repeal the 19th.
I want to make sure you have yourself slathered up with some coconut oil.
Oh, girl, what? She just went there. Didn't she? That's
So
just
what's y'all's oil of choice then if it's not coconut oil?
Bacon grease. Come on now. It makes me sizzle for Rizzo.
Makes me squeal.
Deliver me now.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time on our program today.
Unfortunately.
You don't mean our time has been extended? Darn.
Pat's been very quiet.
I want to put another quarter in.
Have you noticed Pat's been very quiet?
Oh.
Pat's almost like speechless.
She is.
You could definitely say that she is speechless today. I think
Miss Patty,
that's a fair
who's your daddy?
assessment.
She's like, where's Dennis?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
That Dennis. That's why Pat's always smiling. You seen Dennis? Mm-hmm.
Best thing packaged under 6 feet.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
Don't be telling my secrets.
Oh gosh.
Where did Sandra go? Did she like abandon her
Sorry,
position?
I was going to. I realized I didn't have my phone so Ken could text me on it. Now, gentlemen, lady, y'all.
Whatever.
All y'all.
Hey, y'all. You sound confused, girl. You
Hey,
sound
y'all.
confused.
Hey, y'all.
Ain't no confusion over here, girl.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all don't call Sandra to switch parties.
we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Oh,
We switched parties.
yes, we did. We switched sides.
We switched hitters.
Oh!
Hold on, baby.
I would be remiss if I did not wish you luck or lick on your barbecue competition with the Trans Fat Nationals. Now this is serious. The pulled pork competition. Sergeant Cheyenne Pepper, I see that you have a tiara. Did you already win a competition? And if so, was it
queen, girl? She's a queen.
I am the queen bee of
She's
the
a
mob.
queen, girl.
The mob.
Mm-hmm.
You put me in a swamp buggy. Oh,
Girl.
Hold on. Is there a bathing suit competition in this?
Oh,
you know
yeah.
there it is. Mm-hmm.
Oh! Good one, Carmen.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. That's a real one.
I have one too, but it's not near as nice as that.
Oh man. I feel jealous now.
I feel good.
I feel good.
You know that I would, baby.
Y'all may not notice it, but the
I feel nice.
one person that speak loudly is having a hot flash, and it's not us girls.
that is a fact. That is a fact.
And
I'm
she's
glad
got a
that-
ribbon.
And she's got a real ribbon.
Show us your ribbon, guys.
Look at that.
Uh-huh.
Actually, no. I got my real ribbon.
I got one.
Here's what it is. I want y'all to see what it says because I did my talent competition as Miss Marilyn Monroe. I had a big blonde wig, and I sang.
Platinum blonde.
I was saying like I was singing to JFK. Wait, do you see it?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you. Oh, yeah. Because LBJ had nothing to do with it.
No, nothing to do with it.
Well, we are now officially out of time. We appreciate all of our beauty queen pageant people, and of course the beautiful Miss Carmen Montiel for coming on our show today. Mike, all the way from the other side of the world. Rachel, George, Miss Pat, Barbecue Liquor, and Sergeant Guy. Our lives would not be the same without you.
You know,
Thank
girl.
you so much. John Boucher is either thankful or hurt that he was not on this show today, but God knows at least he got to see it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, y'all.